And joining me in the studio is Professor Amina Mama, Kwame Nkrumah Chair at the Institute of African Studies at the University of Ghana. She's the curator of the Kwame Nkrumah Festival. I also have Hasiatu Abubakari, who's a member of the Programs Committee, and we'll be having this conversation. So thank you very much, Prof, for making time. So what is the purpose of the Kwame Nkrumah Festival? This has been running for what, this is the third year?
Yes, this is the third, but we're sitting at a unique moment in terms of the challenges of the last couple of years. If you think about
Which have to do with COVID.
We've been through COVID, we've been locked down, we've been unable to run our classes. So this particular festival is coming at a time that is both uniquely challenging and also a time of great revelations. If we look at what's happened with the pandemic, if we look at vaccine apartheid, if we look at the worsening economic condition of our people all over the continent, and if we look at the challenges that our most creative young people are facing, and the situation of a massive youth population facing high unemployment, we need to address, not just to celebrate, we do want to do that, and party in a way, and lift ourselves up out of this malaise, but also to address real problems, like the unemployment of youth. That's why we chose cultural economy.
So it's called the Kwame Nkrumah Festival. What does Kwame Nkrumah have to do with it?
Well, he was a hugely inspirational and visionary leader, and Professor Kofi Anyedoho, who founded it by doing the first festival, actually he got the idea from Tanzania, where they have a Nyerere festival, where he was a guest, and saw what a great idea it was to take the opportunity to lift up the best aspects of African cultural and political discourse. And there's nothing like a festival for bringing out people across classes, across ethnicities, across nations. And in our case, it's Pan-African, across the Atlantic. And Nkrumah's vision, as you know, was Pan-African. And in fact, when he was in power here, he brought a lot of great diasporans down. Du Bois, W.E.B. Du Bois, came down at the age of 93 with his wife. His wife, Shirley Graham Du Bois, founded Ghana Television. So, you know, you've had a lot of, the Nkrumahism is associated with that wide understanding of Africa as a global phenomenon. And nowadays we have these new diasporas, several generations, and a new generation of young people who go there and study. So the diaspora now includes a lot of our own children. So we have to revisit the meaning of diaspora. It has that long history, but it also has a new history. So firstly, it's Pan-African in the global sense. So it's a very international event, but it focuses on Africa and it focuses on African liberation. And boy, if we needed liberation then, in the 1940s and 50s, we certainly need it now. I'm sure you will agree.
Yeah, I do agree with
Things
you.
are not good. So this is, it's drawing on this tradition of carnivals and festivals as a major source of psychological resistance. If you think back to slave days or the Caribbean carnivals or the Notting Hill Carnival, the biggest in Europe, then we also have Panafest, Festaco. So we have our own tradition of uniting to inspire ourselves, to share the best and most energetic and forward-looking aspects of our culture.
So what has been the impact of the previous Kwame Nkrumah festivals, and how different, or what are we anticipating this year?
They're very different. First of all, they were live. Secondly, the first and second were more local. They were much smaller. Festivals are not generally funded a lot, so it's all about the public coming together to make it work. This one also relies on goodwill, but because of COVID, when I came here, I arrived in January, and the director, Professor Georgie Tsikata, the director of I said, would you do a festival? I said, festival? I don't want to do a super spreader event. Are you kidding? That would be hazardous. But then I thought about it and thought, wait a minute. Because I have a history of working with digital, open access digital publications as a way of letting African knowledges be available to Africans. I said, wait, there's a way. If I can do a digital festival, we can do it. So we then started looking and exploring, and you know, with COVID, the digital architecture and tools available to us have effloresced. There's Zoom, you can stream movies, you can set up whole stages. So we then found people to build a digital architecture like no other. It has 3 concurrent stages. We will be screening movies as if you're in a cinema. We'll have performances. So the idea grew, and we've been finding out for ourselves the massive possibilities. I was someone who resisted digitalization. I said, let's be real, let's have real. But since we can't, it's like, okay, let's see what we can do. So I think we're introducing and taking digital culture, Pan-African digital culture, to a whole new level. That certainly makes it unique. So does I think a lot of movements and progressive forces have focused on women and the next generation, and Nkrumah was an absolute pioneer on both of these counts globally. So I think the title, I know it's controversial, is to provoke that public debate. Pan-Africanism, feminism, and the next generation.
Right.
And with regard to feminism, Nkrumah was a global leader. He was the first head of state to put women, in our case, we're talking Ghanaian women, at the highest levels of his government. He hosted the first World Conference for Women of Africa and the African diaspora.
Okay.
So in this sense, we're drawing on his example. And then there was the Youth Brigade, again, controversial, bringing girls and boys together and schooling them and encouraging discipline and so on. It violated traditional culture.
Norms,
so, we're doing the same. We're pursuing his tradition, if you like, in that way.
Let me bring in Hasiatu. Hasiatu, what are people expecting? I mean, what are people to expect if they come to this festival?
I think people have a great opportunity to learn and to be excited and to have a lot of fun if they join us in this festival. The Youth Festival, for instance, begins today, and it has a host of activities. It is a platform to have the youth discuss their own issues, come out with their own ideas, propose ways for how they can progress and get to the next level amidst the problems and difficulties that we have. So the Youth Festival is going to be a platform for the youth to share ideas and to create sort of contact and network and how to build on and to face and pick up challenges and move ahead. Apart from the Youth Festival, we also have the main festival. So the Youth Festival begins from today to the 23rd of September. And then from 24th, we have the main festival. And it is from 20th to the 24th, sorry. From the 20th to the 24th, we have the main festival. And this is going to be something that has, we have intellectual dialogue, we have cultural expressions, we have film festival. As Prof has said, we are going to screen movies from very well-known filmmakers on the continent. And then, so we are going to create some of the best movies that one can think of. And then during the cultural expressions, we also have a host of activities, really a host of activities that one cannot just sit here to enumerate.
How can people join?
You just go to the website, www.KwameNkrumahFestival.com. It couldn't be easier.
Right.
Click there, register, and you do have to register. And then when the sessions are on, you'll have access. You'll be inside our architecture, if you like. That's the gateway. And then you'll be able to access anything you want free.
All right.
Yeah, it's all free.
Okay. Thank you very much for joining us. And as we've indicated, just get to the website, KwameNkrumahFestival.com, and get to explore and have fun.
Yeah.
And see the movies that are
fabulous films.
Yeah, and
all we can't get.
And all the culture that's going to be on display. So
it'll be a party.
Yeah.
A digital fiesta.
Digital fiesta. All right. Hasiatu Abubakar is member of the programs committee, and then Professor Amina Mama is the Kwame Nkrumah Chair of the Institute of African Studies of the University of Ghana. Thank you very much for coming.
Well, thank you for having us, and sign on. I hope you'll join us.
I will.
There are over 1,000 people from 88 countries already on there, and most of them are from Africa, and we're having some interpretation, English and French, live, so certainly for the main sessions.
Okay, let me wrap up the show, and then we can get to do that. All right, so do stay tuned in. We'll be back in a bit.